Marvellous. Morning, everyone. Morning to our community board, our last meeting of this term. Special welcome to our two retiring councillors over here. Sad day for you. Thursday. Or a happy day. Not what is it?
Next feeling.
I will remind you we are being recorded. Are there any apologies? Yeah, we'll move on to public forum. I'll remind you that you have 5 minutes. Eve Roebuck from the Tairua Information Centre. Good morning to you. Would you like to hobble over? We'll give you a minute extra to make the way.
You know what it's like. You've had it done 2
Yes,
times.
You've got to be careful. It's gone.
I know. That's what Alan says. Yeah. Very handy this stage.
Morning, Royal. Welcome back to Tairua.
Thank you. Inside. You don't really mean that, I know. I'm saying this outside of your back. It's the getting up and the getting down. So yes, I'm Eve Roper and I'm here to represent the committee and the staff of the Tairua Information Centre. First of all, I'd like to thank the board and the staff for progressing our proposal to vacate the library and to establish a permanent home on the main road. We can see from your agenda for today's meeting that the board will be discussing later today the proposal of a new site for the information centre and the recommendation of various locations. We understand that a detailed options assessment will be undertaken on the shortlisted potential sites. This is understandable. It is also wasting time discussing locations that we find unsuitable for our centre. Reasons are we cannot take on the lease of a commercial building as our retained funds will be gone after 3 years. We're paying a high commercial lease around 20 to 30,000 a year, and then we will be homeless again. The site at Corby Right is just too far away from the centre of town, making it unrealistic. The same goes for the Hall site. Keeping the status quo is out of question, as the room is needed for a meeting room, and the site just gets too confusing for the public. We cannot judge which entity they are listed in the library or the information centre. The only way forward and to help the community board and council to keep these investigation costs to a minimum is to ask that the option 3B, our preferred location on the main road near the public toilets, is the only location of discussion and assessment for the members today and going forward. We ask that your preferred company who will be conducting the feasibility study concentrate only on this site beside the toilet block. This will save you funds that can be used to facilitate the workings on the site requested. I've emailed the example of a small building we are interested in for this site, Steve, and we have sufficient funds to purchase the building, and we are also raising funds for the finishing and the fixtures as it is needed through grant and events. Thank you. That is the end of my report.
Thank you. Question?
No, quite clear, very clear.
Okay.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
David. Morning to you, sir.
morning.
David here, speaking on behalf of the Tairua Heritage Society.
Get you.
That's one season.
Well, good morning, everybody. As Warwick said, I'm the chairman of the Tairua Heritage Society, and I'd like to speak to you this morning about the feasibility study which was recently completed by the consultant for Veros on the desirability or not of having a heritage centre here in Tairua. I'd like to start by saying that initially our society was rather sceptical about council spending money on a consultant's report rather than putting the $25,000 into our building fund. However, now that we have read this report and we've seen its recommendations, we feel that the money was well spent for 2 reasons, but with one important proviso. First of all, it has shown very clearly the very high level of support in the community for having a heritage centre here in Tairua. In fact, 85% of the permanent residents support the idea. Secondly, its recommendations are very closely aligned with our own society's strategy for having a permanent home for heritage here in Tairua. The important proviso, however, is that we now need the support of the Community Board and of Council to act upon the findings so that we can work together in partnership. I want to assure you that from our side, we are doing all that we can to raise the $400,000 which is needed to purchase the building which we are now leasing. And I have summarised our efforts so far in a table which I'd like to circulate and share with you. Now this table basically shows that in the last few months since the beginning of the year, we have made 8 applications for funding, but half of them have been declined. We have received 14,000 towards our operating expenses, and that's going to pay our rents until the end of our current lease at the end of January. But the problem that we now face is that although we have $60,000 in our bank for our fundraising efforts, from our fundraising efforts so far, both Trust Waikato and the Lottery's Environment and Heritage Fund are reluctant to support us without us already having a large amount already guaranteed in the bank. They'd like us to have 1/3, which would be 130,000, which is half of what we presently got. You will note from that table that we have included a reference to asking the TCDC for retained earnings after the elections by when the success or not of our other applications should be known. I'd just like to say now that the Heritage Centre is proving to be an ideal spot on the main road. It has helped to raise our profile in the community a lot, and both the quality and the quantity of visits has been very encouraging. We had over 800 people through the door in the first 6 months, and it is certainly filling the gap which is referred to in the report about the need for more cultural facilities here in Tairua. We do agree that the building is small and it is not able to be easily extended for our collection as it grows, and also that storage is limited. But we have started to rotate our displays so that we can show different things at different times. And we are working on adding QR codes to the history trail, which we are responsible for maintaining, which will complement what is in the centre. So we see the current building as a valuable home for us now, but also as a bridge to a future larger space in a community hub. I do have some comments and questions on the details of the study, but I can maybe raise those when the report is discussed in detail later. I don't know whether that's acceptable or not, but if it's possible, that would be an appropriate time for me to give any more detailed comments. Let me suffice to say right now that we find Eileen's summary of the ups and downs behind us and of the way ahead to be an excellent summary. And the Veros report is remarkably comprehensive and pragmatic, and we do agree with its 2-stage approach. In the short term, to acquire the existing building as a bridge to a medium-term goal of a shared facility. And we agree also with the need to explore setting up a trust and a governing board with iwi and school representatives once the building is acquired. We would welcome their intervention or their involvement as soon as possible. But as I think all you all know, that has not proved to be easy, and we look forward to having further guidance from TCDC as we move ahead. I'm happy to ask her any other questions if there are any, or if Ori wants to add anything at this point, but that's my report for now. Thank you.
Was a pretty comprehensive report, wasn't it?
Councillor Walker.
Yes, thank you for your report. Just that question around the shortfall, about 60K, to get them to the loan funding. Have you approached Ngāti Hay to see if they'd be prepared to short?
We haven't, no. Would that be, you think that might be?
It could be,
part of what you're doing? Yeah.
but they're very much part of this, I think.
We would very much like to get involved, and if they could cut in financially, that would really.
Right.
I'm surprised you haven't got anything from the Trillium Trust.
Yeah.
We have tried a couple of times. We applied today for security alarm systems and things like that, and we were turned down, yeah. We could continue to try.
So the guy in Tairua-Pāuanui got a batch, who was the head man there. And he treated the fire brigade pretty kindly. Right.
Thank you, David.
Sorry, just
Yes.
one more thing. Did the Trillium Trust tell you why they turned it down?
But we can apply to them on a regular basis, so there's no reason why we don't try again.
Yeah, but there might be something. Yeah, it might be worth talking to. Do they have an advisor?
No, they do. We can.
Yeah, find out whether there's something that you're not hitting in terms of their requirements. I know applying to trusts is tricky because they have, each one's got its own little peculiarities.
Can I interject here? They tend to favour sporting organisations and things to do with youth. They've got quite a bias in the way in which they award their grants.
Okay, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Ross Stewart. And Search and Rescue. Morning to you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for the invitation to our resident application for funding. As you may know, Search and Rescue operates throughout New Zealand under the control of New Zealand Police. There are 64 individual groups, all of whom are volunteers, over $3,000. And then I'm one of the younger ones, and I'm 78. So, that's the way it is. We're not a wealthy organisation. National funding is very limited. As you know, the police budget is stretched. And so virtually nothing comes to the National Search and Rescue side from the police. Most of their funding comes from philanthropic trusts. The amount of money that is presented to the national body is contestable by the 64 groups. So when we go and apply every year for funding for smart radio or upgrades or maintenance, funding is limited and we don't get what we want. Nobody ever does, and that's the fact of life. So there is never any money for back office stuff like computers, printers, stationery, and so on. A lot of that comes from either using old gear or people, or people donate stuff. So with the advent of the cessation of support from Microsoft Windows 10 in October, we thought, well, our old computers will continue to work. If they fail for some reason on a call out and we can't get support, then the missing person may stay missing. The lost person stays lost. And that's probably not a good thing for us to happen in New Zealand. So we would like to update our computers to 2 new models. They're not top of the line. They are robust. We've done some significant research on this. In fact, Karakia have now gone ahead and bought 2 of the same machines, so we can get some commonality across the 5 groups in the Coromandel. There's ourselves at TBW, Tairua-Pāuanui, there's Kautunu at Karakia, there's Thames, and the Waihi and Tairua-Pāuanui. We're trying to get all 5 groups to start using the same equipment so that when the police come along and say you've done 12-hour shifts, you cannot work any longer, then the person who comes in from out of town knows exactly the same equipment to use and there is no fallover in activity. So we've come to the 2 community boards because we cover both areas, Tairua and Whangamata, and we ask that with your funding, it would help us get over this problem. Is there anything I can do? You have the letter in front of you. If there's anything else I can add, let me know.
That will good by me.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ross. Are there any other speakers to come before? No, then, I so move that the Tairua-Pāuanui Community Board receives Eve Roper, David Rutherford, and Ross Stewart as speakers in public forum, including any tabled material and correspondence. I have a mover, please.
Second.
Seconder, in favour?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Item 1.4, are there any items not on the agenda?
No, it's been raised through me, Chair.
Yeah. 0.5, are there any conflicts of interest?
Yeah, the application for funding from PPP for the fireworks. I happen to also be the treasurer of that organisation.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Someone we can grill in.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Barry. 1.6, minutes for confirmation.
Having to move.
Second. Are there any amendments to the correctness? No. Put the motion. All in favour?
Aye.
Yes. None. Item 2.1, discretionary fund request. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please?
Yep.
For the chair, we'll just make sure that Barry doesn't move second that one because of
Oh,
conflict of interest.
Good point. Yeah.
So
Even though there's a whole lot
Who do we
of
go
other
to?
Second or section for. Yeah.
Yeah, just settle down.
No. Where's the system?
So I'll take the report as read. Do you want to discuss each one as we?
Yes, please.
we go? And then Barry can take part on the ones that he doesn't actually have a conflict with. So the first one is Tairua-Pāuanui Church. $6,000. For the light part.
Note on there whether they say, however, any donation will be appreciated. So they are indicating that perhaps they're not, they're one of the more wealthy churches. So I'm just wondering how much we get towards a good cause, but rather good one to bring out. So,
Yeah.
It seems quite a lot for what it is. I'm not saying we shouldn't support it at all, because we should. So. Yeah.
Looking at the local input here.
I get the impression most of the participants or most of the visitors are church members.
Of different churches. Yes.
Yeah. From out of town even. Yeah.
So it's for that community rather than the wider community, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't know any locals that go, but I'm not in that circle anymore.
We've funded it before, have we, Eileen?
Yes, we do.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, we have to. Can you recall what the last grant was?
I can have a look.
I'm just concerned. I'd like to make sure there's something left in the pot, you know.
So
It's early days. There is needs out there. Other needs.
We don't know what's going up.
I've suggested, I've just got 3,000 here. But, I'm open to.
So now I'm just struggling to bring up the previous grants. So I want to save.
They quoted 150 children. But then the 6,000, it comes out about $50 per child. I've never been to this event, so I really don't know what goes on.
basically a fun thing for kids, sort of in contrast to the Halloween stuff.
Yeah, so that's what they call it, a light party, and it's an alternative function instead of Halloween parties and trick or treating.
It's great.
Sorry, I can't, it won't pull up.
Well,
I think your suggestion is quite a good figure.
Yeah. What a generous thing, I think, yeah.
So is this just
3,000.
3,000?
Are you moving that? Are you?
Oh, I've just put that on the table.
We're really looking for local, you guys to give us a bit of a, you know,
So,
get involved with this.
4,000 is what you gave them last year.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll be here for school. You say, guys?
Anything here?
I'm just doing some maths.
Right, calculator go.
It's 26 bucks kid. But keeping in mind that there are, safety things we've got to cover off and stuff like that. So, yeah, if you're moving forward, I'm happy to second it.
Yeah, I'll also move that we,
Through the chair, are you wanting to take all of these applications in parts, get different movers and seconders, or just,
Yeah.
through the list?
Yeah.
I think we should do it individually. Okay, I also moved that we grant them $4,000 and we've had a second. All in favour?
All right.
I'll just abstain. I'm not too sure about this.
Okay. Moving on.
So the next one is the Tairua-Pāuanui Life Saving. It's been for assistance towards the paying charges on their rates. Steve Club, $1,085.
I don't understand why the council are charging a volunteer out for a pan charge. I think that's pretty rough.
There's a remittance policy if people want to use that, but I don't know whether that fits in for this
They have applied to the,
for remission.
Yep.
It's the same thing as the hall. All those organisations are volunteer things.
I didn't think toilets were part of the decision making. I thought it was about sinks. Kitchen sinks is the trigger for a hand charge.
no, it's toilets. And actual amount of toilets is the paying charges.
How many have they got?
Syrups.
Two. Well, I've got 3 in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you're paying.
Yeah.
Can you just, I'm just certain about this because my understanding the syrups deal was difference between raking units from one another was kitchen sinks, not toilets. In the old days, it was so many bums for toilets, but have I got that wrong? I'm saying it's
Pangs, actual toilets.
The
So what happens to
the
the
plumbing and drainage regulations have a
Well, they'll have
a
paying
number of
charges
toilets.
as well.
what?
But unfortunately, we don't have anybody online from rating or finance who could tell us about those pan charges.
The modern houses have several toilets. They're little pan
Same
charges.
as the Tairua Club, it's the same with all the clubs, there's a pan charge on your rates.
They're all paying it.
You'd think the surf club is hardly a public toilet.
No,
It's just for their volunteers to use, which are giving their time freely, and there's not that many of them. Got a male and a female toilet.
Is it within the building or on the side of the building?
It's inside.
Inside. Yeah.
I'm suggesting $1,000.
I'm just like Chris, I'm wondering why
It's the money
it's
going.
being charged. If there's a money go around, why aren't they being given remission for that?
Got any comments for you?
But that can be. I mean, if it was a toilet for the public, it's a slightly different ballgame.
Yeah, it would be falling under a different category. I don't know. I thought it was sinks that would make the difference, but obviously. Different way, well.
We give them $1,000 and say,
We give him $1,000, get him $1,085. That's what they're asking for.
and make inquiries with the council as to why, and see if we can't get it changed.
I don't know if that will be part of. You're talking about the money go around with the halls and leases, etc., etc.
Well, we
I
can
don't-
ask.
I don't know if that's going to be part of it or not, but we can certainly look into that.
I mean, it's crazy. It's,
We're no different than a rugby club, is it?
Yeah, that's right.
look how long the bloody whole thing's taken.
So $1,000 for the Tairua Club,
Councillor Walker suggested.
$1,085.
What?
Give them the 85.
Yeah.
The whole lot. 185 for.
Happy to move.
The mover, seconder,
Yeah.
all in favour?
Aye.
Yeah,
Okay, Pāuanui Surf Club, Pāuanui Pub, and this is their annual summer events program that they run every year. So they're requesting 15,000.
here we go then.
I think we give them good luck every year, don't we?
15 last year.
They do, this is a really important program for the
Their
summer.
main program,
Yeah, absolutely.
so I don't see why we don't give them
Yeah.
15 grand.
I think that we give them that.
Any other comments?
Yeah,
15 grand?
yeah, well, it's certainly seems to be a comprehensive program, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
benefits everybody in the community over there.
See,
And we can
go even had a couple of deficits looking at their balance sheet. Red figures in. Yep, well, I'll move that we give them the 15,000. Can I have a second?
Yep.
Yeah, all in favour?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, next one's Taira Information Centre, and this is for funding assistance towards their annual summer program, which actually runs through from, it actually goes from spring to autumn, goes a bit longer. So they're requesting 7,925.
She's close enough to get to. Oh, she's gone, you're right.
Don't worry.
I can see that Wilton stick up around your neck.
You guys know better about this than we do.
Oh, yeah, well, it's a similar program to what on a smaller scale than the Pāuanui Club does.
They've covered a number of different events. They do a good job. They goes on for a couple of months, doesn't it? Or more than, yeah. Yeah. I'll move with the support.
7,925.
Is that what we give them last year?
I'm not quite sure what we gave them last year. And do we have a second for that?
I'll second.
Next one is Lancer.
Yeah. We're all in favour?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Carried.
The next one is the land sale request. So their total request is 6,200, which they're requesting 50% from Tairua-Pāuanui Community Board, 3,100, and the other 50% they're requesting from Whangamata tomorrow.
Yeah, I'd just like to move this, if this makes sense. Good organisation. They provide that volunteer support to when we need it, so 100% support.
Yeah, we're all going down this problem with the updating the Windows 11, so I'll second it.
The only one who's happy about it's Mr. Microsoft.
Yeah. Okay, we've had a move and a second. Are we all in favour?
Aye.
Thank you.
And the last one is the Tairua-Pāuanui Promotions Trust. So this is the annual New Year's Eve fireworks display. The request is for 11,500 for each year.
Yes.
We just get veritably back while we do this.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna make.
Stand number.
We're gonna make a problem. Well, this, yeah.
It brings a lot, well, I've met several people that come to town just to watch it.
So how's it worked normally in the past? This fund normally rolls across this table, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And they go and fundraise themselves a certain amount?
There is a public, campaign for donations toward it.
34 grand or something. Total cost, isn't it?
Yeah, so every year the community board supports them, has been since it started, and they do a campaign out for donations from the whole community to all the ratepayers. It's mail out that they do.
Right.
Goes out to all the Tairua-Pāuanui by ratepayers
And just to remind me, they put this on a barge somewhere out in the harbour?
in the middle of the harbour.
Right. It goes on for a quarter of an hour or something?
No, not that.
10 to 12 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a very good display.
Yeah. I'm thinking Whangamata needs to do the same thing. We do is fire our flares off and keep this.
Didn't we have a thing where we did them for 3 years on the trot and then had to redo it or something?
No, that No, that was something else, yeah.
It'll be a bold person that would vote this down.
Yes, yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, now,
Right, Rob?
Okay, so we have a mover.
Yeah.
yeah,
Is this for the whole 11,500?
You guys support it 100%?
I'll move it.
It's, look, yeah. I've had a few knockbacks on it, particularly those that want the money to go to something else, because it's a huff and a puff and a flash of colour and it's all over. But, look, it is something to look forward to. The police support it. They like to get all the people in one area.
Yeah, we stand on our deck at home at the end of it and you can hear the cheers going right around the harbour.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh, yeah, no, I'll be happy to support that. We've had a move in a second.
Yes. Moved, and then second again.
Gary, Gary, all in favour?
Aye.
Carried.
Okay, so that brings your total discretionary down to 24,390. You've allocated 42,000. That doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't.
I had 42,610. Yeah.
Yeah, $2,000 difference.
42,610, yeah.
Okay, that's easy spend.
Only get one shot of it, don't we?
Yeah.
It'd be nice to have something left in the pot.
Oh,
Unforeseen.
I totally agree. Now in the village. 3.1. Flora Heritage offering feasibility study. Can I hear a mover and a seconder, please?
Just a note, we have Paul Spurtle online from Veros to answer any questions that the board has regarding the Veros report. Welcome, Paul.
Good morning, everybody.
Yes.
Comprehensive.
I think, are we allowed to participate in this? No.
It was a very comprehensive report.
Was I don't really have any questions about it. Let's start.
I just got comment.
Yes.
Again, like, it's a comprehensive report. Veros are very good at putting words on paper, very good. I just brought it back to you guys who work and live in the community. Is the community's appetite for this still strong? I know they support it as a function or a resource in town. How supportive are they to support it financially?
That is something that came through the report, wasn't it? That there's limited appetite from a significant percentage of the community to actually pay for it.
The second question is, how much would they be wanting the community to fund?
Well, I think this is a debate that's come to us, isn't it? The recommendations that I've seen is the almost reforming of the trust. I think that going forward, it's obviously going to be a local rate, isn't it? Nothing district.
Target rate, maybe.
Yeah.
I think that, well, the sort of planning with the own buildings is not less expensive than creating a building.
It's a recommendation in that report. How do they fund it?
I think from the report we had this morning from David that they're certainly looking at all the options, and I think if they can still work hard on their funding through their own systems to get at least one third or half of it, helps tremendously for council to see that there's an effort to go external fund, try and find some money, maybe through Ngāti Hay or one of those other operations to help bring that together.
Is the historical people, like, do they do any funding? Yeah,
We were talking about the cultural side of it, are we? Yeah.
Yeah.
With the Ngāti Hei and
Yeah, well, that's a big part of this. This is a,
also Ngāti Maru, so.
yeah, well, we're just talking about iwi as a whole.
Yeah.
You know, there's a collective set of information that involves them as well as the Europeans as well. So how we can incorporate that together on a building that displays this to mainly tourism, I'm thinking. Who's the main visual people who come and look at this stuff? Is it locals or is it tourism or is it?
Oh,
Is
for
it-
sure, it's people in off the street, yeah.
yeah, bit of both, probably more tourist, I would have thought, but certainly a local school in there too.
I mean, it's,
Okay.
in this report, there's a fair bit there that refers to the iwi and the importance of it. Do they have the money and do they have the will to put something forward?
So those are things that you'll bring
It's
up
going to be
later.
a future study. isn't it?
It's going to be the future. I mean, what the report that you've got in front of you today is to actually just receive, there's no decisions to be made. It's just to receive, it's information only, to receive that report. And the other recommendation there that yeah, so notes the support for the Tairua Heritage Society will need to be considered as part of a future decision report or as part of the annual plan or long-term plan process. So those things will come later. At the moment, this is the first step, and that's receiving the report from Veros, and the decision report will come later.
But in doing that, I mean, what's the next steps? If we receive this, are we endorsing it?
Yes,
We're not endorsing, we're just receiving it.
just receiving it, yes, you. And the second part of that is that, do you want to know your support for it?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the next part. So the first part is receiving and then decide do we want to endorse the recommendations out of this.
That's what your recommendations are on your cover report.
Yes, we unanimous that we support the ideas, the concept.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. With the council knocked us back on the original, it would only been what, 280,000 something. Well, let's grind over $1 million.
So do we have a motion for it, or receiving the report?
I'm starting yes, that we receive the report, yes. And its recommendations.
Yes.
Have a second, or in favour?
Right.
Chair, sorry, we've already had you and Roberts initially didn't read this.
So putting,
Yeah, so just bring it please,
sorry,
sorry.
in favour?
Aye.
Yes. Carried. Keep.
And do you want to do a recommendation too, or is that included in that?
That's the notes with the support, that's all part of that resolution. It's correct, yes?
Chair, yes, so the resolution that was moved and seconded was to receive the notes that further support will need to be considered as part of the future decision report or annual plan, long-term plan process.
So another question if we can. I noticed in the report that it does state that this is mainly for the over 65 people and sort of we have this together. And just wondered how much time or effort they should spend in trying to get the whole community behind this. And I see in the people who were discussed, there was the school, Ngāti Hei, the library manager, Environmental Heritage Society, and the community members who participated. So is there a drive across the whole community for this, or is it more at that age level, 65 plus?
I think the committee, the Heritage Committee, spend a lot of effort, a lot of time getting it out there. I don't think there's any stones that they haven't turned over. I know this, they've involved or tried to involve the school as much as possible. Don't know whether that's had a great success there or.
The school has been
It's not
wary, and I
talking
can
about
understand that at the
You
moment.
can't get involved in curriculum, can you, really?
It would fit within curriculum, but not a major part at primary level. And the other thing is that at the moment, schools are under one hell of a lot of pressure from all sorts of directions, especially political. So I can understand them being wary of committing themselves.
And they certainly get involved, don't they? That arrive.
Oh, yeah.
Certainly get into it. Yeah, it's not going to be easy.
In the current position where it's currently operating out of, how's that being received?
Oh, well,
You saw the numbers on the report, number of people.
it's really
I said 700 on for the first 6 months.
Yes. We've signed this thing off, but, yeah.
Yeah.
Good on.
I'm just trying to feel how you're feeling about it all, so it feels like you're keen to keep going.
Yes.
Yeah.
This has been a long-term project. A lot of people put a lot of time and effort into it. And it's been given knockbacks at various times. And I think we should
Just knockbacks.
at times, yes, but very trusting.
Yeah.
So I think if we support this, then we can move it forward. Hopefully get around some of the roadblocks that have been chucked up in the past. And this report gives us the way forward. So we should be supporting it.
Particularly from council staff. Okay, moving on. 3.2. CAPEX work
Are we
program.
going to be moved and seconded? Done with
Yeah.
that?
Just vote on it, yeah. Are you in the group online for this?
I'll move. That we receive the Tairua-Pāuanui Community Board CAPEX work program 25-26 update report dated the 7th of August. I have a second, please.
Yeah.
Right, the program.
Okay, so I'm going to zoom through before something else changes then with the technology. So 2 things quickly to highlight. As of today, the Corey Park Domain Public Convenience works underway and on schedule. Expected finish date end of September is still the case. Just also highlighting that the Chelmsford Place Playground renewals, the construction starts this week as well. Obviously weather dependent. Other than that, open to any questions the community board may have.
I just got one quick one.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, Luke, just I see your comment that the geotech investigations underway in September for the Pāuanui Skate Bowl. I think that's great. We actually did a walk around there after the meeting last time and really felt that it was mainly coming from Bob Renton's concerns that the kids think it's okay. The actual skate bowl itself looks pretty good, but they're around the edge of our cracks. So that geotech will give us some understanding of what work needs to be done, correct?
Yeah, so geotech isn't about what you can see on top, it's what's happening underneath. And so that will give us some clarity around what we need to do to build a long, resilient solution.
Yeah. Okay, look forward to that. Thank you. The other one I just quick is around the Tairua-Pāuanui Harbour consent renewals. That consent, is that for dredging or what's that for?
I will need to double check, but I believe it is consent, regular consent for the use of the harbour. But I will double check and confirm that. That's a new one for me. I'll get the details for you and send that through.
My last one is that they found the red chip location at Pāuanui for the red chip.
Yeah, I've got that on my list too.
Which project is that referring to, sorry?
Pāuanui have a red chip on their roads and they were looking to see where the location for the red chip storage was. Are you aware of that?
No, that will be a roading team deliverable, so I can find out for you.
But it's supposed to be at the spear section at the
Yeah,
Bruce plant.
this has been going around and around circles.
I know where it is in South Auckland. I've been out there. I've got Red Chip driveway. So there's a whole pile of stuff there you can go in South Auckland, find the address if you want.
This is the stuff for Pāuanui.
Well, it's really cheap for every.
Pāuanui was supposed to have a stockpile, and that was talked about three or four
3 or 4
years.
years ago.
Yeah, when I first came onto the board, there was some discussion about it and where it was supposed to be and not supposed to be.
Bob raises it regularly, so we just like to have an answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a done deal. I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was here.
It was gonna happen.
Well, it's supposed to
Then
happen.
we were told there was a shortage.
Was for
And
patch.
there's a, I think a bit more than patching.
Maybe that's not a question for Luke, maybe it's Eileen, maybe.
It's
So through the,
rolling,
ch- yeah, so through the chair, it sounds like it's been a question asked for quite a while. So what I can do is I'll go away and have a chat with the roading manager and see if we can give you a specific update at the next meeting. If they get an answer before then, we'll get that communicated through.
Yeah, with, we only got a temporary roading manager at the moment, is that right, Luke?
Correct. But he is the roading manager at this point in time, so should be able to provide some support in that space.
Thank you.
Just, can we just go back to the harbour consent renewals? I think one of the concerns will be if it's just asking for the same thing, will mean that there's no scope for improvement, if for want of a better word. There are some real issues with the harbour. A quick wander on either side to anywhere where you can look down shows you that. So I think it's important that we actually are having a look to see what is being requested in the way of consents. Because it's actually, yes, it's shallow harbour, but we still need to keep it open. Particularly for the Coast Guard, but also for our harbour users.
So my,
Yeah, I had a look from up on the hill yesterday and there's a lot of sand there. Oh, that's the way the wind's been
A lot
blowing.
of ship to be over around.
Yeah. Mm.
so
But
through
there
the
is a
chair,
channel, we need to keep it.
So, yeah, Luke, you were
yeah,
saying?
so through the chair, the consents that we're dealing with largely are in relation to our assets in this space. So they are a capital renewal of an existing consent to enable continued use of our assets rather than the wider view. But I will verify that and send that detail through to you.
Thank you. Yeah. They are renewals, they're not additional.
just to go back to the red chip, I have just gone back through my emails, which I have forwarded to Barry. So the red chip, the roading team have said that there was no red chip program for this year, but there were 68 red chip sites programmed for the next financial year, 26-27. But we can still follow that up with roading. 68 red chip sites are programmed for the next financial year.
When are these start?
26-27. That's what we can get from the roading team. I would be saying it's
When you say this year, I mean, you're saying till 1 July next year.
1 July. So roading had said there was no red chip program for this year, financial year. But there is 68 red chip sites programmed for next financial year. So we can find out what those sites
I
are.
was going to say, where are they? Is the next question, isn't it?
Who else has red chip on the peninsula? Matarini?
Muttering? Yeah, Muttering, yeah.
No, I know they
Yeah,
pay
I'll make sure it's not all.
a higher price for it. They
Oh, yeah.
Through the chair, between now and that work program, I've just got confirmation that the chair do have a small stockpile. It's located behind the wastewater treatment plant on the Ice Parade.
I'm pretty sure that was put there when the fibre was going around and they were digging off the road.
So that's,
And with that great chip.
yeah, so the small stockpile and some patch up work, and then obviously the substantive program will be a procurement.
Or resealing.
Yeah.
Because we worked out that it's over 10 years since any substantial resealing's been done over there. That's a long time. Sure.
Okay, righto.
Are there any other?
Well, just the footpath and streetlight programs. Any issues around those? Have you had?
Oh, they seem to be
They replace the sections that don't need replacing and leave the ones that are regularly being drowned.
I not put a complaint in the,
RFS.
RFS in about one officer at our place and it's going again, so. They've obviously turned up and fixed it. I didn't get an email to say that.
I did ask our manager here about the trimming the grass from the footpaths, and a bit had been done, but I'm not sure who did it now. Was it a resident that did it in the main road? Because none
I'm
of
not
us have.
sure. No more has happened?
No,
Okay, I'll follow that up and find out.
This time of year, you don't see the mowers here very often.
this was the trimming.
Yeah,
It's
Actually,
the road
opened
is-
the footpath up down by the police station and along there.
Yeah, along by Robert Adams here, in that area, there's a strip that's been done.
Yes,
And I thought, well, this is good, they're onto it. But nothing's happened since.
it's just that one bit.
I just wondered whether that was a local that did it and not.
I suspect it might have been.
They were going along spraying it at one stage.
Oh, yeah, that's been edged. This has been an edge, so they've taken it away.
So it's been like that wide running over the footpath. It's been cut like that.
Yeah, okay. I only said you look at that. Is there anything else on the
Over.
CAPEX? Okay, do we have a movement of seconds?
Yes.
All in favour? Two, carried.
And just mention McCullum and Chipper, the one here, Richard.
Yeah.
They've got piles of.
Thanks, Luke.
Thank you.
Take a truck out there and fill it up, mate, you was right.
Oh,
I threw it out there and I just drove in, they thought, gave me a bag or two. They gave it to me actually.
3.3, action schedule. I'll move that the Tairua-Pāuanui Community Board receives the action schedule report dated 29th of July 2025. Have a second, please. Yep. Any comments on it?
No.
I wanted to add something to it. I want some staff to have a look at the erosion, serious erosion that's happening along the Esplanade Drive on Paku up towards the harbour entrance. There is a serious amount of erosion mainly caused in one area by stormwater pipe under the road. And further along, it appears to be water coming over the road and doing looking at it, this needs to be a priority, because if it carries on the way it is, we're going to lose some road. So I would appreciate staff having a look at that, please.
Urgent.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say?
I'll take photos of the area before I leave today and send them all.
Very good.
And can we just get that red chip chucked onto the action schedule just to make
Yeah.
sure it stays there?
I've made the note.
You've all got the note.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yep.
Just got one to raise through the chair. Do we have a tree policy on trees that are registered in Taiura-Pāuanui?
Oh. Well, you want to read that?
I think they do. I think there are certain trees that are.
There's notable,
With the-
there's notable trees in the district plan. But there's notable trees in the district plan, but I'm not sure if that's on there. Taira itself doesn't have a tree register.
No, but we have some trees that are under a.
Yeah, so they call those notable trees and they're normally in a schedule in the district plan, but I'm not sure. Is there a specific one you're talking about, Terry?
No, I raised with the council the other day about the Werewolf Forest, because they were trees bought by people and put into place and wanted to know whether they would come under the tree register. They weren't quite sure how that worked. That was really about the only trees that were registered on the cards.
They're the ones at the cemetery.
They were.
No.
What did you say then?
You're.
Why did they put the?
That people bought them.
Well, in our case here, the council put up some money and bought those trees.
Council bought the trees.
Yes.
Yeah, and not council, these are individuals that were sold to. And the world,
So these were
leeches went round the area putting World War One forests in.
That's correct, yeah.
And those people could purchase those trees and own a tree in the park. And I want to know whether they were registered on a register or not. I just wondered how that fitted in Tairua, when there was a tree register here.
I don't think
Is the
that,
famous Harbour tree down the road registered?
It's on the district plans.
Through the chair, in the district plan, there is a heritage tree schedule. So there's a list of all of the trees that have been identified in each of the wards. So if you've got significant trees in Tairua-Pāuanui, it'll be on that list. What Councillor Walker is talking about is should the World War One forests be added to that list because of the significance of their plantings.
You mean a protection of some sort?
Yeah, like to give them that extra layer of protection. And so that's an action that I took away from the council workshop the other week to talk to our policy team about that. And it may be that the next time that the district plan is updated, that those are added or considered to be added.
So these trees all around the town.
In lots of locations around the district, there's been World War One forests planted. And so, you know, the question that was raised was, you know, do you have to wait for them to become big and grand, or does the circumstances as to why they were planted give them, should that give them that status?
It's a covenant, is it? That sort of thing that
It's
talking about?
through the district plan, it's an extra layer of protection, so it means that you just need to do things properly around those trees and give them proper consideration.
that your World War One forest is at Pānui, at the end of Tanny Lane,
Yes.
and it's represents,
Palestine campaign.
yeah, something like, Whangamatars is on the left-hand side, just as you get to the bypass road, it's on the left-hand side.
Well, Liguana, which was 122 trees planted after the last battle of World War One.
Yeah. Our one is around our cemetery and on a piece of land that's coming back towards the school. There's some planting through there.
Yeah, I don't know how they go with significance. I don't know if we can talk about this for a minute, but the significance, the SNPs are natural areas, SNAs back in regional council's day, went round and started to identify this, and then it was reconsidered under the government rules. They've sort of taken that back a bit. So how do they decide whether the tree is significant or not? That's what I.
Through the chair, what I'll do is I'll get some policy advice from probably Leslie and their team and send it round to this board as well as the council followers.
Yeah, that'd be good. Okay.
So Parks and Reserves would be aware of these? We've got such a.
So
No, but they did the planting.
Parks and Reserves are aware of the World War One forests.
Oh, well, one forest, yeah, but not all significant trees, I'm sure, but done back in 2015, 16, there was a real push for SNAs around the Coromandel, around the whole Coromandel.
through the chair, if you remember, I can't remember exactly what the timeframe was, but the government revoked general tree protection rules, and that caused a number of councils to then go out and ask the community to identify where there were trees of significance and give them that extra protection. So those are listed in our district plan.
That's angle we
So those are listed in the district plan in the appendices, and the point is, can we add one forests to them? Have they already been added? Have we planned for it? What would that take? So I can answer that. I will answer that with some policy advice.
Yeah, what about consultation?
We'll move on.
Been here too long, Brookie. Thank you, Luke. Where's she gone?
There you go.
3.4, my report. Did I? Did I have a move in the second?
You did.
I did. Okay. I move. So all in favour of the extra schedule, please?
Aye.
Against? Carried, thank you. 3.4, my report.
Lovely words, thank you.
Oh. No questions.
No gold watches, just see you later.
Can I have a mover and a second?
Yes,
To receive my report?
you move it and I'll second.
Okay, well, I'll move that the Tairua-Pāuanui Community Board receives the chairperson's report dated the 8th of August 2025. We had a second, all in favour?
Aye.
Yeah. Yeah, no, all the words are well intended. We thank you all. Wish you well. Thank you two old boys over there, are your retirements?
Well,
Although Terry's still going to hang in there, but I'm saying.
I don't know, you'll be there, be in there. I've got other things on.
You'll spend your time on the beach?
It's, I'll swimming, I'll still be in, I'll be an active lifeguard still, yes.
Right.
Obviously in the country.
Yeah, Drew.
So you raise, make sure you're the oldest in New Zealand.
Item 3.5. I move
Second.
that we
Through the chair,
and permit. Yes,
yes, just what I was going to raise.
I'm moving that we move to public excluded and permit Paul Spurrell from Veros to remain due to his knowledge on the subject matter.